If we were to ask you to name the richest non-royal family in Britain, perhaps you might guess the mighty Grosvenor family. With their multi-billionaire duke and expansive ownership of Mayfair and Chelsea, two of London's most prestigious areas. Or maybe your mind might leap to the Reuben brothers, who have built a vast empire encompassing real estate, technology and private equity, significantly shaping London's skyline. You could even consider the Cadogan family, whose centuries-old legacy includes vast swathes of Chelsea, turning their holdings into some of the capital's most valuable streets. And yet, while those are all fine guesses, the title of the richest private family in Britain would go to none other than the Hinduja family, originally from India. Indeed, the Hindujas are not just a financial powerhouse, but also a fascinating study of international business acumen, having established a vast conglomerate that includes everything from banking and cable television to real estate and healthcare spread across the globe. On the flip side, as Britain's richest private family, they have also courted controversy like it's going out of style, being convicted in Switzerland for exploitation and illegal employment as recently as this year. In today's episode, we'll share their astonishing rags-to-riches saga, from their humble beginnings in India to the pinnacle of wealth on Albion, as we describe the Hindujas, the Indian family that owns Britain. The wealth of the Hinduja family is so expansive that to even picture it sends the mind into chaos, because it's estimated that the family holds a net worth of £37 billion, or roughly $47 billion. To put this into perspective, if the family stacked all of their money in $100 bills, they could reach the outer layers of the Earth's atmosphere. And with a net worth this stupendous, the Hinduja family sits as the richest family in the United Kingdom. Now, the prize jewel in this unfathomable crown of riches is the family's holding in its parent company, the Hinduja Group, a multinational titan of commerce, home to a variety of businesses in every sector. Privately owned, the family enjoys every cent that every business makes, resulting in hefty dividend checks worth more than most individuals' annual earnings. Gopichand Hinduja, a member of the family's second generation, serves as the head of the family and de facto owner of the Hinduja Group. And it is his duty to oversee the direction of the Hinduja Group and grow its portfolio to ever greater extents. Gopichand is further in charge of ensuring the favorable reputation of the Hinduja name, which has been on the wrong side of the news as of late. Yet in 2024, 4 members of the family, Prakash, Kamal, Ajay and Namrata, were convicted for exploitation and illegal employment in Switzerland, after it was found that they were paying their villa staff just $7.84 for an 18-hour workday. Prosecutors further argued that the family had engaged in human trafficking, an allegation which, while later acquitted, has seriously damaged the public perception of the Hinduja family in recent months. Nevertheless, what the family may lack in morals, it more than makes up for in its real estate portfolio, which is, to say the least, expansive. For example, the Hindujas own the infamous Raffles London Hotel, situated at the heart of Whitehall, and a night in a premier suite here will set you back £25,000. For a member of the Hinduja family, however, a mere premier suite is not luxurious enough. No, they much prefer to relax in their £100 million, 4-floor, 25,000 square foot terrace in London, with room enough for some 300 housewarming party guests. And the interior of any Hinduja residence is never without a treasure chest of luxury jewellery and precious stones either. When Swiss authorities detained the aforementioned members of the family, for instance, they seized a platinum necklace, rubies, diamonds, and an assortment of high-end jewellery worth enough to pay off most mortgages. Furthermore, when the British summertime rolls around, the Hindujas enjoy nothing more than spending the day on their private yacht, a 48-metre-long, custom-built work of art that perfectly reflects just how detached this family is from the everyday worries of credit card repayments and paycheck-to-paycheck living. And when business calls louder than pleasure, the Hindujas drop their martinis and head to the airfield to hop on their private jet. Leather seats, room to recline, and a private flight crew ensure that every minute in the sky is enjoyed in the utmost comfort. With its £3 million price tag, it's a luxury that only a family as successful as the Hindujas could indulge in. The luxury life enjoyed by the Hindujas does, however, raise an important question. How did they become so affluent in the first place? Well, the answer to this question lies in early 20th century India. Now, the name Hinduja is of Sanskrit origin, though records do not exist of when it was first used. What we do know is that the name is a mix of Hindustan, a term relating to India, and Jaha, which means things belong to. And thus the name Hinduja is habitational, directly translating to things related to Hindustan. But it is in undivided India, Shikapa to be precise, where the early protagonist of our story, Parmanand Deepchand Hinduja, was born in 1901. And Parmanand Deepchand's early life, as is the case with so many entrepreneurs, was not full of the luxuries of the 1%. Rather, it was plagued by financial challenge and struggle. Parmanand, however, was not deterred by the unfortunate geopolitical hand he was dealt. He was much more interested in what he could earn. And this problem-solving mindset was put to use very early on in Parmanand Deepchand's career. In fact, in 1914, when he was just 13 years old, Parmanand Deepchand would travel to India's financial capital, Bombay, to learn the ways of commerce. During this year, he formed the Hinduja group, laying the groundwork for his entrepreneurial endeavors and marking a key turning point in the future trajectory of the Hinduja name. In Bombay, Parmanand Deepchand found a love for both merchant banking and commercial trade, which became the core dealings of the Hinduja group. Parmanand consequently experienced increasing success over the next 5 years, prompting him to relocate his headquarters to Iran in 1919. And this relocation to new soil proved extremely fruitful for Parmanand Deepchand. For over the next decade, he built strong trading relationships in Iran and Persia, developing a reputation of trustworthiness and reliability. With this modest financial success, Parmanand Deepchand could turn his attention to marriage and securing the family line through children. Parmanand Deepchand began the expansion of his family by marrying a woman named Jamuna Parmanand Hinduja in the early 20th century, and the couple would go on to have 5 children. The first child, Girdhar, was born in 1930, and as the firstborn son, he became the first in line to inherit the Hinduja group, even marrying a woman named Lalita in order to solidify the next generation before his father's passing. However, Girdhar tragically passed away in 1963, leaving Parmanand Deepchand's second son, Srichand Parmanand, in a position to take over the empire. Srichand Parmanand, or SP, was born in 1935, at a point where the Hinduja group was expanding rapidly. At this period, Parmanand Deepchand had a sizable personal wealth and lived a life of comfort that as a child he could only dream of. As a result, he was adamant about giving his children an education, which he was never able to experience. Thus, he sent SP to Darvar's College of Commerce in Mumbai at an early age. He later studied at RD National College. At the age of 18, SP joined the family business, working on the ground floor of a textile shop, and he would later go on to sell onions and potatoes, as well as iron ore in India, and grew a passion for international trade. Now, during his first few years at the Hinduja group, SP also showed astute business acumen and always supplied his father with plans for business growth. This principal vision would prove pivotal in the future growth of the family empire. Then, Gopichand, the third son of Parmanand Deepchand, was born in 1940. Like SP, Gopichand's education was prioritized over his involvement in the business as a child, and he spent the majority of his adolescence at Jai Hind College in Bombay. After earning his doctorate in law, Gopichand joined his brother at the textile shop. While working together, the two brothers developed a deep bond, both from a business and personal perspective, and discussed plans for how they would run the family empire upon their father's retirement. Then, Parmanand Deepchand's fourth son was born in 1945. He followed in the footsteps of his brothers, earning a degree in law and economics before joining the family business, quickly adding plans to expand the Hinduja empire far beyond the realms of national borders. And Parmanand Deepchand's last child, Ashok Hinduja, was born in 1950. But it was during this period that Patriarch Parmanand was reaching the end of his reign as patriarch of the family empire and was beginning to explore more philanthropic ventures. For instance, in 1951, the Hinduja group helped to set up an outdoor clinic to help provide care to the area's refugees. And this philanthropic outlook certainly affected Ashok in his later career, who placed more emphasis on giving rather than receiving in comparison to his brothers. Like his siblings, Ashok was required to obtain a doctorate in law and economics before entering the family business. He, however, ascended to a more senior position after graduating, helping to oversee the company's affairs on Indian soil. Therefore, by the late 1950s, Parmanand Deepchand had a well-established second generation to take over the family empire and grow it to new heights. S.P. Hinduja would assume the role of patriarch of the Hinduja family upon the death of Parmanand Deepchand in 1971. And with his newfound power, he wanted to do one thing: expand. You see, SP had felt that his father was far too modest a businessman and hadn't adequately explored the financial metropolis of the European market, thereby leaving great profits on the table. Therefore, in 1973, SP founded Hinduja Global Solutions Limited, an outsourcing company devoted to exploring the international market. This subsidiary enjoyed excellent success, which reinforced SP's vision to expand internationally. In fact, SP became so committed to the international market that in 1979 he made the decision to move the Hinduja Group's headquarters from Iran to Europe. This decision, motivated in part by the ever-complex political landscape in Iran, proved pivotal to the continued growth of the Hinduja Group. Understand, with the European market at its fingertips, the Hinduja family was no longer limited to trade and merchant banking. No, now the sectors of technology, media, communications and chemical development were available. And with the support of his brothers, SP Hinduja welcomed these newfound commercial opportunities with open arms. The division of labor was simple. SP would oversee the Hinduja group holistically, dictating its most important, needle-moving decisions. Prakash would chair the company's European efforts and Ashok its Indian efforts. Finally, Gopichand would control the Hinduja group's most significant subsidiaries and act as heir to the empire. With this plan in place, the Hindujas set the wheels in motion. The media sector was explored first, with the creation of Next Digital in 1985. This company sought to reinvent the digital landscape in 20th century India, which was, at the time, both fragmented and lagging behind the rest of the world. The company's dominion over the Indian banking sector was reinforced next, with the creation of inaugurated IndusInd Bank Limited in 1994. This bank would pave the way for a new generation of private banks in India, helping its economy to flourish. Then in 2007, the Hinduja Group bought a controlling share of Ashok Leyland, an automotive manufacturer that the company had initially founded in 1948, but later sold for a cash injection. To this day, Ashok Leyland remains a vital component of the Hinduja Group's holdings. In 2008, SP added Gulf Oil Lubricants to the family's business portfolio. With this company, the Hindujas were able to bring their innate disposition for innovation and development to the commodity chemicals sector. Even today, the company produces a number of leading chemical lubricants and is regarded as one of the best chemical manufacturers worldwide. Rapid expansion only continued in subsequent years, as the Hindujas put their name on the door of a number of leading companies in a diverse range of industries. Hinduja Foundries, Hinduja Global Solutions, Hinduja National Power, Hinduja Renewables, Hinduja Realty Ventures, just to name a few. And by the turn of the 21st century, the Hindujas were renowned as one of the richest families in the world. The second generation had taken their father's company from a modest enterprise to a multinational commercial titan. Furthermore, they each had multi-billion-dollar net worths and had etched the Hinduja legacy into the very fabric of the universe. And throughout the 2010s, these efforts were recognized in the business community. For instance, in 2015, the Hindujas received the Business Leader of the Year award at the Asian Awards. 4 years later, one of the Hinduja Group's holdings, One OTT Entertainment Limited, was awarded the annual Innovation Leaders Award by Telecom. Such prestigious accolades only added to the family's expansive business prestige. However, the second generation of the Hinduja family was not perfect. And though they helped to grow the Hinduja empire to previously unforeseen heights, they also sought to muddy the reputation of the family name. Notably, in 1986, the Hinduja brothers were investigated for alleged connections regarding the Bofors case, a white-collar scandal in which Bofors, a Swedish arms manufacturer, was accused of paying illegal bribes to top government officials in order to sell $1.3 billion worth of weaponry to the Indian government. The brothers were later acquitted of these allegations in 2005, yet by this point, the damage to the Hinduja name had already been done, and public perception of the family had started to decline. Subsequently, in 2001, the Hinduja brothers became embroiled in a British government scandal which would later be dubbed the Hinduja affair. In this scandal, the Hindujas were accused of masking a bribe of $1 million to government officials as a charitable donation in order to be granted a United Kingdom passport. Again, the brothers were later deemed innocent, but their involvement in another high-level scandal could not be put down to mere chance for many. A third major scandal took place in 2005, in which Ashok Leyland, the Hinduja group's automotive titan, agreed to supply 100 army vehicles to the Sudanese Defense Ministry. This announcement would have been innocent enough had it not been for the fact that many of the company's directors were residents of the United Kingdom, a factual matrix which conflicted with the country's arms export legislation. Again, the Hinduja brothers faced no quantitative repercussions from this accusation. However, it did act to contradict the family's ethos of clean legal business dealings. And finally, as recently as 2024, members of the Hinduja family have, as previously outlined, been involved in a rather serious human trafficking trial, with 4 members set to go to prison for 4 years for the exploitation of workers. Nevertheless, despite their numerous controversies, the second-generation Hinduja brothers' legacy is one of unparalleled wealth accumulation. They took their father's modest enterprise and scaled it to monumental global heights, becoming the richest family in Britain in the process. But with the death of SP Hinduja in May of 2023, the reins of the Hinduja empire now rest in the hands of Gopichand Hinduja. At 84 years of age, it's safe to say that Gopichand's rule over the Hinduja dominion will not be as long as his late brothers. However, in spite of his age, Gopichand has significantly impacted the future direction of the Hinduja group. Aware of the pressure for multinational commercial titans like the Hinduja group to be more environmentally friendly, Gopichand has steered the family empire towards a more sustainable business model. And Gopichand's sons have further helped this move toward a green future. For instance, Sanjay Hinduja, who became chairman of Gulf Oil in 2005, made a significant leap forward in the company's development in 2021 with the launch of Gulf Oil's first electric vehicle fluids range, marking a genuine commitment to a sustainable future. In the same year, the company began to invest in electric vehicle charging technology. Furthermore, Ashok Hinduja's son, Shom, has assumed the role of President of Alternative Energy and Sustainability at the Hinduja Group. He has set clear goals for the Hinduja Group to explore the possibilities of alternative energy, which will likely become a key sector in the company's portfolio in years to come. The family's third generation has likewise placed a greater emphasis on philanthropic ventures, something which first patriarch Parmanand Deepchand cared heavily about but was somewhat lost under SP's reign. SP's daughter, for instance, is currently serving on the board of management for the family's medical research center in Mumbai. With this newfound outlook, the third generation is already trying to restore the public perception of the Hinduja name, and once more instill the values that Parmanand Deepchand championed during his time as the family patriarch. And now, we'd love to see you in the comments. What is your opinion of the Hinduja family? Are they a great example of rags to riches, or are they yet another instance of morally questionable billionaires? We can't wait to hear from you, but make sure to play nice down there. we hope to foster a thoughtful but respectful community here on our channels. With that said, thanks for joining us for another episode and cheers. Until next time.